Kingdom Animalia is divided into two subkingdoms, the Parazoa with no true tissues and Eumetazoa with true tissue animals. Again, this Eumetazoa, it is divided into two taxonomical levels or grades, that is the radiata. The animals in this have two tissue layers, the other is bilateria. The animals here, they have true muscular tissues. The bilateria, again, it is divided into two, it includes two divisions, and that are protostomia or protostomes, in which the animals, their mouth forms, the blastopore, from the blastopore the mouth forms first, and the other division is deuterostomes or deuterostomia, the eumetazoans, in which the anus is formed from the blastopore and the mouth is formed away from the blastopore. So we have learned earlier about the acoelomates, pseudocoelomates and coelomates. So animal kingdom majorly into Parazoa and Eumetazoa. The pore-bearing animals are called as sponges, which come under porifera. We are seeing some of the images of this. Leucosolia, the water transport system is very special in sponges. The water enters through pores called as a single pore is called as ostium. It flows through the spongiocele and comes out through the osculum. They possess a special water transport system or a canal system. Carnocytes or collar cells are special flagellate cells that line the spongiocele and the canals. The single structure and this is an enlarged structure. These are flagellated cells and they have spicules. The body is supported by made up of skeleton spicules or sponges. Generally, the sponges, they reproduce asexually by fragmentation or sexually by producing by formation of the gametes. The development is indirect, that is, when they develop, they produce larval, different types of larval stages such as parenchyma and amphiblastula. Carnocyte is a very important feature of the sponges. Hydra, jellyfish, sea anemone, and corals. The corals that we are seeing, these all come under phylum Cnidaria. This Cnidaria name comes from their stinging cells that we shall see now. Cnidoblasts, these are the characteristic features of the cnidarians. The hydra, the tentacles on the tentacles is the enlarged picture. They have cnidocytes, special cells. In these cnidocytes are present the stinging cells called as a nematocyst. Here we see it is a coiled cell. When a trigger is there, the thread inside it is discharged, and this discharge it pulls the prey inside. So this is how the cnidarians they catch their prey. These are diploblastic animals. The picture I am showing here, as we have learnt earlier, they have an epidermis, outer epidermis, and then inner endodermis that forms the gastrodermis or the gastrovascular cavity. And between these two is lays an undifferentiated layer that is called as the mesoglea. This form is the medusa form of the cnidarians, because cnidarians they show two types of body forms, the polyp and the medusa form. The medusa form is the umbrella shaped sexual form and the polyp is the cylindrical shaped asexual form. These two forms they show alternation of generation, exhibit the cnidarians exhibit the alternation of generation. Asexual form produces the sexual medusa form, and the medusa forms is the sexual form. This represents the sexual part. It produces the polyp, the asexual part. And the development in cnidarians is indirect because they produce a free swimming ciliated planular larva during their life cycle. Phylum Ctenophora includes exclusively marine biradially symmetrical and diploblastic animals. So the name Ctenophores, comb jelly, the picture of the comb jelly, it comes from the comb plates. These are the comb plates that I am showing here, which helps in their locomotion. Therefore, these are generally called as the comb jellies or sea walnuts. And these ctenophores, they lack nematocysts as we learned earlier in cnidarians, but they possess lasocells or coloblasts for their food capture. The ctenophores here I am showing you the similarities. This is the similarities between the sponges, that is the polyphers and the ctenophora, and these represent the dissimilarities between the comb jellies or the ctenophores and the porifera. These are Symmetrical symmetry, they show radial symmetrically mobile, sessile, they are fixed, that is, they do not move. But very important feature of this comb gels is a bioluminescence, that is the ability of the living organism to emit light. Here, see how beautifully they emit light. This is a very special characteristic feature of the ctenophores. The ctenophores here, they reproduce only by the sexual means, and the fertilization is external. There, the development is indirect by producing a larval stage called as a pseudiped larva. Worms in the animal kingdom, they include three different phyla: Platyhelminthes, nematodes, the earlier name, and now it is called as Ascomynthus, and the annelids. Planaria comes under Platyhelminthes, nematodes, and Ascomynthus, and the annelids. Platyhelminthes are known as the flatworms. They have hooks and suckers on this. This picture of the Taeniasolium, that is a tapeworm. These are unsegmented worms which have hooks and suckers to attach to the intestine or the other part, for as they act as an anchoring to hold on to some part of the body, because mainly platyhelminthes, they occur as endoparasites living inside some other organism. They have flame cells for excretion and osmoregulation, that I am showing here flame cells. It helps the single part. In this part is a flame cell which helps in excretion. And they are hermaphrodite, that is both the sexes are present in the same organism. Male and female are present in the same organism, and these reproduce directly or produce certain larval stages. Directly they produce certain larval stages. So direct development is indirect. Ascomynthus, known as roundworms, because in cross section they appear as round, therefore these are called as the roundworms. They have well developed muscular pharynx and the sexes are separate. And there's a picture here. They have well developed mouth, pharynx, and then anus. Rennet glands are there. Rennet glands help in the excretory system. It comes up, the rennet glands helps in the excretion. Here in Ascomynthus, the fertilization is internal and the development may be direct or indirect. Direct development means when an organism develops without producing any larval stages. Indirect if suppose it produces any larval stage. And then annelida are the first segmented animals or the worms to evolve, segmented. And these segments, as we see, these are called as the metameres, segments, parts. Okay, these animals have many segments which include earthworm, leeches, and the merantholicates. Most of the annelids, like earthworm, they have chitin over their body surface and they have setae. And in leeches, these here, suckers, these are present here, and at that I'm showing here the other end, posterior side. These suckers and the setae found in earthworm, they help in their locomotion. The parapodia that I am showing here seen in Nereis, these parapodia are the appendages, lateral appendages, side appendages, which bear setae here, and these parapodia help in the swimming. So this metamerism means showing of the segmented is a characteristic feature of annelids, and then the setae and the suckers for their movement, and the nephridia helps in their excretion. These organisms, that annelida, then the development is direct or indirect. If it is indirect, it includes trochophore larva. Some of the animals are monoecious, like earthworms, they are monoecious, while some are dioecious, like Nereis and leech, that is, they bear dioecious if the male and female organisms are separate. These are dioecious.